So hot. So easy. Oh, it is burning all the way down. Give it a second to cool. Hey everyone, welcome back to the AI Kitchen. I'm Dave, and as always, we're here to try something new. Today we're gonna be making a one-pan cheesy chicken and rice. Now, as always, I had artificial intelligence or ChatGPT create our recipe. Sometimes it ends up going really well, sometimes it goes really poorly. So let's see what we get today. Now I will say the prompt that let me actually get some ingredients, stand by. The prompt I said is create for me a recipe that will be super easy to make, also make it super affordable. That way, since groceries are expensive, we have a nice cheap dinner option and easy and cheap. So that's what we're gonna make. We're gonna make something super easy and super cheap. To do that, we have a couple ingredients we need to get ready. Actually, I'm gonna tell you, there's not that much prep work to do. Now that I look at it, I think all I need to do is chop up this onion, which you want a small onion. I had already used this sliced for a different recipe today, so I'm just gonna chop it the rest of the way. And then I need to mince up a clove of garlic. So that's basically the prep work. Now, I will say it also calls for mozzarella and cheddar cheese, shredded. So if you want to do those from scratch, you can, but mine is like just the bags from Walmart of pre-shredded stuff. So there's no prep work for that either. Again, the goal was an easy recipe, and it looks like ChatGPT is delivering so far with this simple prep. So chop up a clove of garlic. Anyone can do that. I am no pro, but I manage it. And obviously I'm not gonna get perfectly sized slices because I'm not great at it. Chopping the onions like that is a good way to start crying, because the reason that you cry when you chop onions, I looked this up, is because the onion juice actually flies up, especially with a dull knife, it's worse with a dull knife, and gets into your eyes, and that's what makes you cry. It's not the smell of it that makes you cry. At least that's what the internet told me. It could be wrong. Let me know if it's wrong. These onions stink. These are some stank onions. Now, it did not specify red onion, but a red onion is what I had, and I'd rather conserve and use the food that I've already started chopping for something else than, ruin a whole new onion. All right, I'm gonna call that chopped. We got chopped onion, and we got garlic. Boom. Now we're gonna preheat our oven to 375. And we're gonna get a large oven-safe skillet. This is my favorite large oven safe skillet. So I'll put that over there. I get that one at IKEA, and they're not that expensive either. I don't know if it's really the best in the world, but it's something I enjoy. I'm gonna move my ingredients over here because that's where we're gonna be cooking. Okay, so what it's telling me to do as my first step is to season our chicken. And it says to use, dropping stuff. It says like a half a teaspoon of each of these pretty much, but I was just gonna kind of wing it. I don't know, maybe I should measure it out. That'd be wise of me. Yeah, let me do it. I'm gonna do it right. All right, so I am gonna make a little spice mix as it directs instead of winging it. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. You can use a bowl if you so desire. No, we're not pro cooks. We'll use paper plates here. Half a teaspoon of onion powder. Half a teaspoon of paprika. And then salt and pepper to taste. Add a little pepper. Add way less salt than that. Well, that's probably good. Boom, there's our little seasoning mix. Mix it all up. That way I can more evenly add it to the chicken. We're gonna season our chicken. Now, originally this recipe said 4 chicken breasts. So I cut it down to 2. I said, hey ChatGPT, can you do 2 chicken breasts instead of 4? And then redo the recipe, and that's exactly what it did. It gave me the recipe for 2. Now if you have a bigger family, you can go ahead and double all these instead. I am gonna do the 2 chicken breast version, and basically we're gonna take our chicken breasts and we are going to season them. Now I'm sitting here thinking, Dave, you probably should cut these in half, like thickness wise, otherwise they're gonna take forever to cook and you're gonna burn them and blah-de-blah-de-blah. Maybe I will do that because, let's make our lives easier. They're not that thick, but whenever I cook chicken, I just find my life goes a little bit more smoothly if I do something along these lines. Well, it wasn't a perfect cut. Don't cut like this, guys. Don't cut like this. Come on, this chicken breast has no structural integrity. What's going on? All right, this is not what it said to do. Don't judge. Whatever, it's fine. It's beautiful. Get some more seasoning on there and pretend like that didn't just happen. Hey, oven's ready. I'm just loading up the seasoning on here in a very uneven fashion, wishing that it would just become even if I just will it to be, but it's not working. This one doesn't even have anything on the bottom. We're all good. We'll just rub them together. Rub your chicken together. It's all good, guys. It's all good. All right, so season it all over. Do it like different than how I just did it, but I did it, and it all has some seasoning on it. I think it'll work out fine. Okay, so after further investigation and washing my hands, I noticed that almost all the seasoning was on my hands, stuck to them because, you know, I was touching the chicken. So I might just season it a little bit more, just by like eyeball, just a little. So I'm gonna take some salt in the hand. I'll just do one side, add a little salt, make sure it's all salted. Hopefully not over seasoned, but I just feel like it was under seasoned prior to this. So some salt. Do the same with a little garlic powder. I don't know. The seasoning thing went poorly, is the moral of the story. I don't really know what I was thinking. Little onion powder, hopefully a little. Does this know how to pour? Yeah, look at that. I'm doing a good job. Great job, Dave. Woohoo. That was a little heavy at the end. Some paprika. There's already seemingly some paprika on all this because it's a little red. So I don't know if I need too much of that. Or it's just probably the most noticeable, let's be serious. And then a little bit more black pepper. Now this stuff's gonna some of it's gonna fall off when I cook anyway, so I don't know. Do what you want with the seasoning is the moral of the story. Now we're gonna head over to the stove and we're gonna start cooking this bad boy. All right guys, so I'm over at the stove top now. I've just put some olive oil in my skillet and we're gonna heat that up and get to cooking. So I set my heat to medium high, and then once it's at medium high, we're gonna go ahead and add our chicken to the pan. 1, 2, and then my other 2 little bits, which these other 2 pieces are gonna cook faster because they're a lot smaller. So you don't need to chop them. I was just trying to make it cook more evenly and quickly. All right, so our chicken is frying up. I'm kind of looking through the future ingredients and steps we need to have. I'm gonna flip this over though, make sure we don't burn it. It says to do 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Generally with chicken, it takes a little longer than that, but we'll see. We'll see. It's already been like 2 minutes and it's not even close, so I think it's gonna be like 5 minutes on each side. Okay, so I just realized something. We don't actually want to cook the chicken through. What we actually want is them to be browned on both sides. So I'm gonna take that one off. That one's actually overly browned. That one's already browned-ish as well, and this one needs just a little bit more. But this is going in the oven for an extended period. So it does not need to be cooked all the way through. That's why I said 2 to 3 minutes on each side. So I'm almost gonna say this is good. Maybe another 30 seconds, I'm taking it out. Yeah, that one's getting too crispy. This one's pretty much good, so we're gonna take them out. Our chicken breasts are brown enough. Now we're gonna add our onions to the same skillet and our garlic. Yeah, I was reading through the recipe. I'm really bad at reading through the whole recipe before I start cooking. But when I read through it, it says that it's gonna go in the oven for like 30 minutes. So obviously the chicken doesn't need to be fully cooked. And it's not. Luckily I read it early enough. Usually I don't. It's just browned on both sides. It is not cooked all the way through. That's just to give it a crispy edge, I bet. But our onions, we're gonna saute those for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes with the garlic in the same pan until they're translucent. That means I really didn't need to cut the chicken breasts in half. You can use 4 chicken breasts here. That's what it originally called for. Our next ingredient that's gonna go in is uncooked long rice. You're gonna want 1.5 cups of that. I got my 1.5 cups of rice, that's gonna go in next. The onions are looking pretty good. Probably about ready to add the rice here. Yeah, I would say we are. We're gonna add 1.5 cups of the rice and hopefully not burn it. There's 1 cup, here's 1/2. Coat that with the vegetables. And this is uncooked, remember, I already said that 3 times, but I wanna say it again. Now that that's coated, we're gonna add our chicken broth, I believe. How much? Oh my gosh, I should have checked ahead of time. Yeah, 1.5 cups of chicken broth. Chicken broth, if you've never seen it, looks like this, not sponsored. I don't wanna burn the rice, so I wanna go kind of moderately fast on the first pour. 1 cup. And 1/2. All right, let's mix that up. That's better. I don't want to get like the rice all burnt. Okay, and then we're gonna add more liquid, I believe. Yeah, we're gonna add 3/4 cup of milk. Add that in there. And then we're gonna add oh so delicious cream of chicken soup from Campbell's. Does it need to be Campbell's? No, but that's what we have. Let's mix that all up. Oh no, it's spilling over. I might need like a taller skillet, but well, this is what I have. It'll be easier to stir it once it warms up a little. So I'm gonna stir that until well mixed, which means I need this chicken soup to kind of get softer, and I don't want to spill it over, so a little complicated, but not too bad. We got our rice in there, 1.5 cups of that. All right, that's pretty good. Now we're gonna add 3/4 cup of frozen peas and carrots. And I actually happened to find an exact measuring cup that was 3¼ cups. So add that in and stir it. Like this dish is almost done. I want to just integrate this a little bit more. Now we're going to put back in our chicken breast that we cooked a minute ago. Put those back in there. Again, you don't need to pre-slice them like I did. I think that was a waste of time. Hindsight is 20/20. Do we put the juice too? I feel like we should put the juice. I mean, why not? Tell me why not, really, in the description. I bet there's a reason. We are now going to cover this without burning ourselves with aluminum, or if you have a lid. Oh no. It's on the top of the aluminum. A lid would be better, but I don't have a lid for this pan, so I'm using aluminum foil. Ugh, fail. It's perfect, guys. Just what I wanted. Aluminum covered in chicken broth and stuff. Okay, let's try this. There we go. Got that cleaned off. Get a little more aluminum. So my advice to you is make sure you start off with a pan that has a lid so you don't have to use aluminum foil. Or you can use aluminum foil. It's all up to you. Now it goes into the oven, just as it is. 375 degrees. Ow, burned my hand on the top of the oven. It's all good. Now we just let it cook for 35 minutes. And honestly, that was an incredibly easy, I mean, I made it more complicated with the spices and stuff, but if you wanted to, you could just make that easier. Don't have to cut the chicken in half like I did. So at the end of the day, that was very easy. Isn't there cheese in this though? Oh yes, at 35 minutes, we're gonna take it out, we're gonna put the cheese in, and then we're gonna put it back in the oven. That's why. Okay, so we'll be back in 35 minutes to add some cheese. We're very close to this very easy recipe being done. All right, guys, it's been 35 minutes, so I'm gonna take this skillet out and try not to burn my hand, okay? And for me, because of the way my brain works, I usually do one of these, just so I don't go grab that handle and melt my flesh. Hey, look at that. It looks kind of cooked, doesn't it? Let me get you a better view of it. I'll move it over here so you can see it in the close camera. Look at that. Now, what we want to do is we want to add the cheese. How much cheese? I don't remember. It says half a cup, between half a cup and 1 cup of shredded cheddar, and between half a cup and 1 cup of mozzarella. So I'm just gonna use my little 3/4 cup thing and spread that out on there. This is supposed to be cheesy, so I don't think you can go wrong by adding a little extra cheese around the edges here. Want to get some full coverage. And then the mozz, I'm just gonna eyeball it. You know, that's what I was gonna do anyways. And then it's gonna go back into the oven for, I think, like 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna check really quick, but not too long. All right, back in the oven it goes. Well, that's an interesting turn of events. It actually melted the inside of my little cooking mitt. I've never had that happen before. So now I'm like kind of nervous about shutting the oven with what is like potentially plastic in it. So I think I'm gonna leave it open and just broil it maybe. Here's what I'm gonna do. Instead of doing it that way, I'm just gonna hit broil. So I leave the handle out of the oven because I don't want like plastic in my food. That's weird. I've never seen that happen. I've done this like a million times. I'll use this one next time. Oh well. So basically the goal here is to melt the cheese, and broiling will work fine for that. So we'll just broil it for like 3 to 4 minutes, oven open, and then it should be bubbly and browning at the top. All right guys, it's been about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes on the broil. We're gonna take it out. I hope I didn't ruin my pan. Boom, there we go. Cheesy chicken bake to the extreme. That actually looks really good, doesn't it? It's hot, but you know, for the thumbnail, I'm doing it. So yeah, it looks good. So it says the next step you can do, actually let me do this again, but hopefully not melt my little pot holder thing. There we go. The next step you can do is add parsley as a garnish. That seems like a waste of time, let's be real. It doesn't really taste like anything. I mean, you can do it if you want it to look prettier, but you know, we're about the taste here, so. It's crispy on the top. I can't help but sit here and wonder if I should have cut the chicken, because now it's like hidden under there as full pieces, and if I'd cut them in half, you know, width-wise, then they'd be like serving size. I feel like they're a little too big right now as they sit. All right, so we're gonna crack into this. I'm gonna go to a spot where I don't think there's any chicken first and just grab some rice. Interesting. Very interesting, folks. Now let's grab some chicken. I think there's some chicken right here. Maybe I should have grabbed it with the chicken. I don't know. I want to find a small piece. There we go. That one's small. Okay, so let's try it. And I guess I'll use this mega knife. I'm gonna get a little bit of chicken. Hold on, let me move this aside, guys. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna cut some chicken. This was a very easy dinner to make. So if this actually tastes good, then we're onto something. Whew. So hot. Oh, it's really hot. It's good though. It's quite good. So easy. Oh, it is burning all the way down. Give it a second to cool. For me, I want like a little more pepper on it, but of course that is like the freedom you have when you go and eat this. You can add more pepper, you can add more salt, you can add more whatever you want. A big cheesy bite. That's real hot. Listen, this cooking video should be over, but I think it's missing something, and therefore, I want to cook something else. I want to make a sauce for it. I think it desperately needs a sauce of some sort. And I asked ChatGPT to give me a sauce. I said, this needs a sauce. And it created a recipe for me that looks very easy. And I think I'm going to cook it really quick because it will not take much time. And I think we can take this dish from like where it's sitting, which is like a 7.5, up to like an 8.5 or a 9. So I'm going to do it. Someone try and stop me. All right, 2 cloves of garlic. It's not good. I have a whole nother recipe I need to cook today, but I just, you know what? Here's the thing I'm struggling with. It's like really good and it's so close to being great. And I feel like we can make it great with a sauce. I think that's all it's missing is a sauce. If you want to make this at home, you can try it both ways, but I'm telling you, it needs something. 2 cloves of garlic, it says. Dice them up, chop them up, whatever. Small saucepan. 2 tablespoons of butter into the saucepan. I'm gonna move my camera over there, I guess. I'm just carrying the camera over the old way. That's too big of a burner, but it's all right. Butter's melting. This is what they just call like hyper-focused. I just feel like this dish is so close to like amazing, but it's just not quite getting there for me, and we can make it get there with one tiny addition. All right, so my butter's melted, pretty much melted. We're gonna add our garlic to this. Oh, and spill a lot of it. 2 cloves of garlic, minced. And we're gonna stir that and cook it till it's fragrant, about a minute, maybe 2. All right, it's pretty fragrant at this point. It smells amazing. We're gonna add a 1/2 cup of heavy cream, heavy whipping cream, and a 1/2 cup of chicken broth to the mix here, like so. Let's stir that up. I've got it like a little above medium heat. I'm gonna bring that up to a gentle simmer. All right, so it's been a couple minutes here that it's been cooking and getting heated up. It says to a gentle simmer. It's not really simmering yet, is it? Once it hits a gentle simmer, I'm supposed to add a 1/4 cup of grated parm. Oh yeah, it's simmering a little bit, so let's add it in. 1/4 cup of grated parm goes in there, and we mix it up until it kind of disappears. And hopefully this will thicken up in a minute or 2. It says add a little salt and pepper. A little salt, a little pepper. Mix it up again. It's definitely simmering now. I don't want to burn it. I don't want to burn the milk, so I'm taking it off the heat because it's like, it's nearing rolling boil status, and I don't think I want rolling boil to be the thing. Maybe I do, I don't know. I want this to thicken up a little bit. All right, so we don't want it super thick anyways, because technically what it's telling me I should do, or should have done, is literally pour this over the whole entire dish. So I might give it another 40 seconds and we're gonna pull it off. All right, I'm calling the sauce done. I'm pulling it off. It says it should only be slightly thick, which it is, because you're gonna dump it over it. We're taking a, what do they call it in golf? A mulligan. We're trying again, because I'm not happy with the results. I wasn't unhappy, it was fine. It was a fine, easy dish. And you know, I think the big thing about that is it was easy, and easy is great. But I feel like with, you know, this sauce, a little less easy, we can make it even better. So let's go ahead and add some rice to our plate. There's that little piece of chicken. Another little piece of chicken with cheese all over it. And then we add the sauce, the saucy sauce, like so. Now technically it says you dump it over the whole thing, and it's supposed to be liquidy. I don't know, we'll see. It still seems very liquidy. Let's try it out. Yeah, it's way better. Way, way better. Definitely make the garlic sauce. Now, like I said, what it technically says you're supposed to do is create the sauce and then do one of these numbers over it, and it'll soak into the whole dish. And that's technically our completed dish like that. That's what it's supposed to look like. So that's what it is. I will say it doesn't really seem like my Parmesan melted. It was a last minute rush job, but you know, do what you want. Do sauce, do no sauce, doesn't matter to me. I think it tastes a lot better with the sauce. So that's my professional opinion. I will say if you don't do the sauce, it's super easy. It's still pretty easy with the sauce. Yeah, the sauce takes it from good to excellent. I just finished off my plate full. So yeah, very good. Try this one out. Even, you know, without sauce, it was closer to a 7, like I said. So it definitely brought it up a level. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you subscribe to the AI Kitchen, and we'll see you next time.